Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday today and I'm here with a sketch challenge, but I have, oops, I'm gonna go, oh, she's gone. Can't just see her, but Cynthia's in my studio today helping me get ready for my craft fair. So she sneezed just as I was going live. Anyway, so she's kind of working away behind me, helping me with getting some cards ready to sell at the craft fair. But today I wanted to jump on, as I always do, and share a sketch with you. And I'm going to use some of the new online exclusives that just launched today in my online store. Hey, Pam, welcome. So I'm going to use the Garden Meadow bundle and the Amazing Meandering Meadow Designer Series paper. And now these aren't quite available. I thought they were going to be available today, but these are the birds, dragonfly and birds embellishments. They will be coming into stock. And then there is some glimmer paper that is also available. So I thought I'd share my card and use those on this one. Okay, first of all, let me show you the sketch. So this is the sketch. This tends to be, I love this layout and I use this layout a lot. You've probably even seen it. So you've got a card base that is either 5.5 by 8.5 or 4.25 by 11, doesn't really matter. And then this layer in yellow. Now I showed a card the other day in a different way to do this. So I've said it's 2.25 by 5.5. And then the blue piece in the middle is 2 inches by 5.5. If you wanted to, you could actually cut 1/4 inch strips so you're not, covering up. I'm going to use some of the glitter paper, but it might actually be easier if I cut some 1/4 inch strips, and I'll tell you why when I make my card. So a couple of ways to do this. I've got a circle that's 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 because that's the punch we have. And then some kind of image in the middle that's about 2 inches by 2 inches, and then a sentiment across the top. And you can play with the size of the sentiment depending on what you're using. Now, don't forget that this sketch will go live on Instagram and Facebook in about half hour's time. So if you missed any of those measurements, you can grab it from there. Okay, so let me show you this. I have played with this. This is the Garden Meadow bundle. I love this. You saw me make a card using this arch the other day, and this fence is so cute. And then, I love the wheelbarrow. And just some really cute little images, these little gum boots. So it's really pretty with the coordinating dies, and then there are these extra dies that you can create. And then the Designer Series paper, now I don't have all of it, but this is the piece I'm using, is absolutely stunning. And apparently the artist at Stampin' Up! That designed this painted little miniatures. So I think they're only kind of maybe, 4 inches square, if that, of all of these. And that's how these were all designed. So these were hand painted and then kind of converted into paper from the artist. And on the other side are just some kind of plain patterned colors. Now, this is one of the other online exclusives that's available. This is glimmer paper. It comes in petal pink. I have to look at this because to me this is quite yellow. Now it looks very petal pink when I look at it in the camera, but it to me looks quite orangey. So it is petal pink. Pecan, no, not pecan. Pretty peacock, too many peas, and Highland heather. And so these are 12 by 12 glimmer sheets. And so these are also one of the online exclusives. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to set that here for a moment. And then these are it's hard to see. Let's put them on here. These are the birds and dragonflies. So there's dragonflies and 2 different birds facing in 2 different directions. These are not available, but they are coming back into stock sometime in November. So if you haven't been able to grab those, they are coming back in. All right, let's get my pieces. So I've got a piece of thick basic white cardstock that I've cut 5.5 by 8.5, and so we will score it at 4 1/4. Yeah, it looks to me peachy to me too, Pam. And yes, the archway is definitely one of my favorites. It's fun to make cards with. Okay, grab your bone folder and fold into the mountain or the raised line and give it a good burnish. So I like to use thick basic white. Somebody asked me the other day whether there is a difference between the regular basic white cardstock. This is just the regular and this is the thick. There is quite a difference, and I like to use the thick ones when I'm creating a card base from it. So this piece of Designer Series paper is cut 2 inches by 5.5. So it's going to go the full length of the card. And then I cut a piece that is 2 1/4 by 5.5. Now I could have just cut, in this case, 1/8 inch strips, but I'm going to use the full piece. When I adhere paper to glimmer paper, I tend to use tear and tape adhesive. I just find that anything adhered to glimmer paper needs a little extra help in sticking. If you didn't want to use all of this glimmer paper and wanted just the little slivers, you would cut little strips that were 1/8 of an inch by 5.5. And then you get just this kind of peekaboo of the glimmer paper behind it. But since I've got this cut, I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to use my take your pick tool to sometimes, I did this yesterday too. There we go. So don't pull the glimmer paper fully off. Like that. And then I'll pull that one off completely. And then you can just, oopsie, so you get this lined up. And once you've got it lined up and even, you can kind of press it down, and then you can pull these tabs of the tear and tape off and press that down. And I just find it sticks better. And then you can take and use your regular whatever adhesive. I'm just using liquid glue on this one. So I'm putting this about 1/4 of an inch or so from the edge. And if you need to, get that lined up, hold that in place. If you need to, you can trim off. Well, that's not too bad. There we go. You can trim off any excess from the bottom. So there you got just a little peekaboo of that really pretty glimmer paper. Hey, Sandy. Okay, so I went ahead and punched out a circle. This is the 2 3/8 inch circle, and I realized I don't have a piece of basic white, so I'm going to go grab it because I always forget. All right, so I need to do some stamping. So I've got my piece of my circle cut out of that really pretty glimmer paper, but let's do some stamping. And so I want an image that will go in the middle here. These images are at 90%, so they are larger than they appear. The wheelbarrow, I think, is too big, but maybe what we'll do is we will stamp a couple of images. So this flowers, I want the happy birthday as well. And maybe these gum boots. I haven't used these gum boots yet, but they're so pretty. They're so cute. There, the little gum boots. So maybe we'll do a flower with the gum boots beside it. Now, if you find, these ones are fine, but if you find, so I've got my happy birthday image. If you find that your happy birthday isn't straight, or anytime you've got a sentiment that's a photopolymer instead of the rubber stamp, just kind of flop it onto your grid paper and then pick it up for using your block. You will find that it kind of, when you flop it onto the grid paper, it will kind of take its the shape that it's intended to be. So I'm just going to take and stamp that and stamp these. There are dies for each of these. So, oh, and I might as well stamp my happy birthday. As well. There we go. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. So I've got Daffodil Delight, and let's see what colors. Oh, let's do Shaded Spruce. Okay, so I've got, aren't these pretty color combinations? Shaded Spruce, Highland Heather, and Daffodil Delight. So let's do our gum boots in Daffodil Delight. My husband has a pair of boots. They're not, well, they're rubber boots that were for the boat, sailing boots. And they are in yellow and blue. So these kind of remind me of those. So I'm just going to do just a little bit of, this is the dark. A little bit of highlighting or blending. Like that. Like that. All right, and so now the flowers, they're really just too small. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the dark Highland Heather. And the leaves I'm going to do just in light. They're pretty little, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm really just coloring using my blends. Like that, and maybe a little bit of the grass. All right, and there are dies for these. So let's find the dies. Like I said, I haven't used the dies for the gum boots. Actually, I had never stamped the gum boots. Okay, so that, and I've got a piece of Post-it note tape. I think this is going to be the last time it gets used. It doesn't feel very sticky. And let's see if I can use the same one for both. Hold that in place. Get that in place. All right, let's see if that will hold. And I will just cut this out. I can't find my plates, so we'll cut this off so that I can use my mini, which is sitting right here with the plates in it. Let's bring that in. I think I decided my plates for my regular machine needed to be replaced, and I didn't pull a new set out. Okay. There we go. And oh, there we go. Okay. So, aren't those rubber boots so cute? So we'll just kind of do that like that. Now I'm going to use tear and tape again on these just because they're adhering on to the glimmer paper. So ideally I'd like to pop them up, but I just don't think they're going to hold if I use dimensionals. So and come on, there we go. So I'm going to put that like that, putting it kind of up a little bit because, oopsie, pulled the whole piece of tear and tape off instead of just the backing. So take your pick tool and pull off. Okay, so there we go. So we'll do that. Now this is supposed to go across here, but I'm going to put it down a little bit just because I don't want to cover up those really cute rubber boots. So we will that I said the other day, I got these dimensionals. I think I got the backing wet on them. And so when I'm pulling them off, they're actually pulling off the back part. I'm not sure. I think I must have got that sheet wet, and that's what's happened. But it works. Okay, so we're just going to put that there. Kind of a let's see if I can get this to stick with dimensionals. It's kind of a spring card, considering we're going into fall here. This is quite a springy card with the purple and yellow. Wouldn't that glimmer paper be great for Easter projects? Oh gosh. Hello from Sweden. Welcome. My goodness. Thank you for joining me. All right, and I'm just going to take that. Like I said, in my sketch, and I'm going to move my gumboots, my rubber boots up a little bit because I just think they're too cute to cover up. Like that. Okay, now I have got, because my circle is popped up, my ends of my sentiment need to be double popped up so that it doesn't kind of sag. So I'm going to put another dimensional underneath the ends. The middle's fine. The ends are not happy. There we go. Yeah, Easter cards for sure. I think it's kind of pretty. Okay, now let's use a couple of these or some of these. I love the dragonflies. I love the birds. Like I said, the birds are going in different directions. So there we go. Now I do need to, hey Marjorie, welcome. All right, I do need to stamp something on the inside. Where did my rubber boots go? Because I can't resist these little cute little rubber boots. I'm not going to color them because if you color on white, you probably know this. When you color on basic white using the Stampin' Blends that are alcohol, the color will go through. So I'm just going to stamp those like that. So there we go. And if I bring my sketch back in, here is the sketch. For the most part, I stayed pretty true to the sketch. Just the sentiment I moved down a bit. So, all right. Put my cap on my glue, because if you follow me, you know I always forget to do that. But there we go. I think that's a really pretty card. Like that. All right. So thanks for joining me today. Again, if you haven't seen these online exclusives, they're in my online store. And if you go and look for the online exclusive section, you will see these, as well as there's a few more. Let me think about what else. There's a bundle called Fluffiest Friends. There is a bundle that is soda pop cans, canned pop. With die, so it's a bundle. It's really cute. And there's a duck stamp, and there's a sentiment stamp. So there's a few new things that are only available in the online store, and they are only available while supplies last. So we don't really know how long it's going to take, like how long they're going to be available. Hopefully they're going to be, they're popular enough that Stampin' Up! Will continue to get them in place. But in North America, we've already seen one of the online exclusives that was the adhesive backed gold and silver glimmer paper is already not available anymore. So you don't want to wait too long. And this designer series paper, I think, is one of those that is going to be really popular because it is absolutely stunning. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Now I'll be back tomorrow it will be later tomorrow. Normally I jump on at 2 o'clock Pacific, but I have a dentist appointment for the first time in a very long time, a little scary. And so I will be a little later tomorrow. Probably about 4 or 4:30, I will be live tomorrow with what's tomorrow? A technique. Also, if you follow me on Facebook, I posted something today asking you for ideas for my techniques. Every Wednesday, I jump on with a technique for you. And so I'm looking for ideas of what you'd like to see me. Somebody suggested the bubble technique, which I would love to do again because it's so much fun. But if you have ideas for techniques, just post them on my Facebook group, and or send me an email, leave a comment on this video, and I'm happy to put it on my list so that I've got some ideas for upcoming techniques. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.